Hey guys, part two. So the stance, which I guess is the most basic thing, if you're orthodox, which you probably are, left leg forward, right leg back. And this is an interesting topic, but the Thais actually, they do this with their front leg. They kind of do this kind of a thing. They like to keep their weight really light on the front leg. And this foot is completely planted. It's just stuck there. Like 80% of the weight's here and 20's here. And in Western, I would say Muay Thai, it's more opposite. They keep this leg planted and this leg up. They kind of do this kind of a thing. And me, I'm kind of in the middle. So I'm kind of 50-50, and I'm on the balls of my feet, both of them. I just think it's more flexible. You're faster. The weight's 50-50, which is better. You're more capable of movement, and I just think that if you have a foot that's planted there and just stuck, you kind of have this preconceived idea that this foot is not moving, you know? Like it's just stuck there. And not necessarily a bad thing, but I like to be kind of limber. I like to use my speed to my advantage, so up to you, but just as long as you understand that this is like this isn't, you know, complicated, but it kind of needs to be said. It's like the obligatory information stance, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, I guess that's. Oh, actually, I should show you. There's really bad lighting down here, but like shadows and shit. I don't know how to turn the light on the video. There is a light that it can shoot out and whatever. So what I was saying before, with the hips, this is really hard to do, by the way. They kick. A lot of beginners kick like this. They kind of do this kind of a thing. So they don't understand to do this, right? Which I kind of talked to in my first video. And they also hunch their body. So, I'm gonna set the camera over there, but before I do, in my previous video, I kind of over-exaggerated the angle of the kick. I made it look like this, like 90, 90, 90, but it's more, there is a bend, but it's more like, more like that. It's about that. So it's not perfectly straight, and there is a slight bend. And you may think that you get less power with a bend, but you get more power. Like if you're totally straight like this, I don't know why, but the math just doesn't add up. Like when you kick straight on, you get less power than if there's like the slightest bend like that. Like that little bend makes the biggest difference. So that's footwork and the angle. Like your foot is kind of like, it's not so exaggerated like I did in my previous video. There is a slight bend though, so just understand that. And also you're kicking with your shin. Oh, I should point that out. So it's all polished just from like kicking and stuff. And oh, my feet's kind of, I polished the floor. Like you see, I don't know if you can see, it's really smooth. Like where I trained, and then like over here, it's like this patchy and like typical basement stuff. And my feet actually are pretty banged up and calloused from training down here. But it'll happen. Like when you train, you should train barefoot. I should say that. A lot of people who start out, the people I train at the rec center, they keep their shoes on. Do not train with your shoes on. That's just defeatist, you know? Like that's pointless, because you kick with your feet and your shin, and that's just, you take away all the power, and you develop bad habits, and it's just learn to kick with your feet. Like that's the whole point, you know? And I brought that up because so this is your shin bone. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's just this bone here, and it's hardest here. Like this is around here is the thickest part of your shin, but when you kick in Muay Thai, the contact area is about here, like a little bit past your foot to about here. Like this is where you hit, because of the length of your leg and whatever. It does the most damage here. Like that's what you That's the striking area. Okay, now that we got that over with, we can actually get on with the kick. So, this, actually I should go to this side. A lot of people who start out, they do this, right? And you'll see it right away as soon as I turn my hips, but they also, this is a difficult thing which I'll talk about in the tips and advice at the end of this, but when people kick, because you're kicking with your hips, so you gotta open up your hips, and it's a very contradictory motion, because no one is naturally, well, a few people, but no one's really naturally flexible here. So in an attempt to kick from the side, they'll kind of hunch over like this, and kind of bring their foot up like kind of do that kind of a thing, and obviously you lose all your power, your stance is all fucked up, your alignment is gone. So they kind of hunch over and do that. Or if they're turning, you know, they'll lean over, like I said in my previous video. You just gotta work on the hip flexibility, because if you look at this kick is different from this kick, right? And that's what you want. You want to kick, you want to kick like that, right? You want to kick, you want to cut through. You don't want to do this and just tap them, you know? You're just like slapping them. It's like the baseball bat thing. It's a lot of power on contact, but that's it. That's all it is, you know? You just kick, boom. They'll feel it there on the surface. That's it. You want to kick through their body, through their muscles, into their bone and all that. So you want to go from here, and you notice that, I don't know if you can see actually, I don't know how the camera, the viewing angle is, but here, people kick like this. You want to go from here to here. So your hips are totally square this way, then they're turning this way. But you don't want to, at first you can, but you don't want to move this leg. So it's a very difficult motion, because your legs and hips and all that are all twisted, because the farther you turn this foot, the more power you'll get. But the problem with that is the recovery is worse. So Taekwondo, I know, and karate, for example, they'll turn their feet. Like for the side kick, they'll turn this feet all the way, pointing that way, and then they'll kick this way, you know, and you get more power, but it takes way longer to come back, because you got to turn your foot back, right? So, you know, it leaves you really open to attack, and you're off balance. It's just not the best thing. But if you're learning, because the hip rotation, like I said, it's hard. It's easier if you turn your foot. So if you're just learning, turn your foot, and then you can kind of, it's easier to whip your hips and leg around. Now I forgot what I was talking about. So here, right, so that's what you want to go for, is that kind of a rotation. And if you start out, just, you know, turn it a bit, and then slowly you want to be able to not move your leg at all, and keep this foot planted, and just move your hips, and just do that. So I guess that's about it. It's really just, it's just practice and flexibility, and you'll slowly, as you kick, you'll notice things about your body that you need to change, and then you adjust certain things, and then work your way to develop the right angles, because everyone's body is different. And like, what else is there? I can't remember what I was talking about. But that's the back roundhouse, and it's usually trickier with kicking with the lead leg, because you're off stance. You know, this isn't chambered to kick. This one is, but this one isn't, because like, what do you know, there's no power. So they have this thing called the switch kick, and you just change into southpaw, and kick that way. But maybe, I don't know if that's important. I'm just trying to teach the basics. So oh, swinging the arms too. A lot of the times, if you kick, you're gonna be off balance. So you'll see ties and stuff like that. They'll swing this arm back, just to kind of counterbalance this leg coming outwards, right? It does help. The harder and faster you swing this arm, the harder and faster you can swing this leg without being off balance. You can do it like in a shell, you know, but less power. It's safer. Like, you gotta gauge the situation, right? But it's easier. It is easier, and you get more power to swing this arm back. So it's the same arm that you kick with. You just pull it back, almost like you're swimming, I guess. You just kind of poor swimming, really poor swimming. Just kind of just pull your arm back this way. Now I remember another thing. Actually, so the kicking angle, you don't want to do this. You know, you don't want to come in this huge ass arc and strike, and just, you know, you don't want to telegraphed and no damage at all. Like, despite what you may think, let me grab this here. Despite what you may think, the baseball bat only hurts like on the surface area, and the power is constant throughout the motion, right? Because you're going 100% here. And the interesting thing about martial arts is there's this moment in time where you make contact where all your force and energy is released. And the rest of it, like up until that point, your entire body is really relaxed and soft. So in the punch, for example, you're not going, you know, you're not doing this like 100% throughout the whole thing. You're kind of relaxed here, and then when about here, you kind of snap, right? And that's, I tried to teach my friend this, but he couldn't get it. You don't want to, you know, like 100% from back here and just powerhouse. You want to keep it relaxed and up until here, and then snap, you know? So, yes. You don't want to, you know? You don't want to just powerhouse the way through it. You're going to get tired, first of all, and it does no damage despite what you think. So don't kick like that. Don't come around. You're not slapping people. Think of it when you kick in a huge angle as you're slapping them with your leg. You don't want to, you know, you don't want to do that. You want to do this. You want to come in from the inside kind of thing, and just, you know, that's a poor example, but if you swing your leg like this, also with the figure skating thing I said, no speed, right? Think about it. Your leg is like coming out from here. You're not going to generate any speed at all. So come in straight up this way. So almost like you're going to kick someone in the balls or knee them in the balls. Just come in this way, and then when you want to make contact, turn your hips, turn your leg, and snap it in. Bah! It's so hard to explain. I'm trying my best. Sorry guys. Just snap it in, like a whip. If you think of, don't be like a baseball bat. Don't do this. You know, be like a whip, like soft, and then when it makes contact, there's like a acceleration. That's what you're hitting with. The acceleration, the burst of speed, right? The burst of force. So come in this way. And then when you've reached that wherever you want to hit, and then kind of snap it in. And it's deceptive because the professionals, when you watch them, they look like they're going so hard throughout the whole kick. They're going, you know, and people, I know, because I've helped people at the rec centers and stuff like that, and they try to powerhouse their way through it, which is wrong. Don't do that. They try to bring it all the way around and go as hard and fast as they can, but the speed is not indicative of strength, you know? So when you see the leg coming up this way, like think of it like it's, use math, okay? Math always works, the math always works. So the angle of this kick, if you're coming up this way at an up angle, there's no horizontal force. The vector is going up. Not this way, right? So mathematically there's no power here. So, but people think like, oh, because it looks like he's going so hard and fast, I should do that too. I should just go, you know, I should just bring my leg and smash it in. It's completely relaxed, like I said before. Up until here, all the energy comes in at the very last moment, just as you snap it in, right? So I'll do it as slow as I can, but it's like this. And then about here, like this is a low cut kick to the legs, but here and then here. You wanna, I don't know if you can see, like when I hit in, I kind of bounce back too. Like here. you're cutting in and then coming out. Try to do it as slow as I can. So here, no energy, and then here, explode with your kick and your hips. That's why people say in Muay Thai you kick with your hips, because from here you can't use your leg to kick. There's no power. You gotta generate the torque and momentum from here. Right here, just snap it in, snap it out. Right here. That's what you want. And if you're going higher, you just stop here, and then turn your foot in. Right?